Hello everyone! Let me know when people have joined.
Yep, there are people starting to join.
Hello.
People are waving.
So our heating is not broken. I would like to just say that. Our heating is perfectly fine and I'm slightly warm right now, but obviously I wanted to show you all the things I've been posting about the last few weeks. So the 2 for 1 and 1 for all beanie, which I'll talk about in a minute. The wonderful Slip Stravaganza by Stephen West, and my new sweater. So I think we'll talk about the beanie first. And I have yarn here, and I'm going to talk through some yarn options for the beanie and some other things. And I've only set up the yarn option, like I've set up a small selection of yarn for today, but obviously there is oodles and oodles of more yarn on the website, which is that. There we go. So the beanie has been quite popular. I launched that a few weeks ago. It is a free pattern, which you can get on my website as a free download. So when you buy the pattern, I don't post your printed version of the pattern. It's a digital download, and that's the pattern for this beanie. Now, I knitted this with my baby alpaca 4-ply, baby alpaca silk and cashmere 4-ply, held together with some kid mohair and silk lace. And these are the actual yarns I used for said beanie. So it's a bit magical every time you use two yarns together, how the colours change. So these were the separate yarns, and this is what it became. So if you want to knit this beanie, I do have these in stock, and the colour names are Sherbet for the mohair and Escarina for the baby alpaca. I'm going to take this beanie off now because I'm getting a bit warm. Oh, there, but I'll hold it. So what I've done over here is I've given you some options. So I think you're going to have to come a bit closer for this one. So we have, if you fancy something in cooler tones, we've got Koi Pond and Koi Pond Fluff, which I think would look really nice together. And this is a combo I discovered this morning when I was setting up, which is quite nice, which is Jade and Jack and Long Distance Love. I feel like I need to make one with these two yarns because I mean, look, that's just beautiful. And then we've got some sock yarn. Oops, some sock yarn, because you could do this with sock yarn instead of the baby alpaca as well, and knit that together with some kid silk and mohair. And this one is November Mist and Mellow Grello. I think these two will look really nice together. So for everyone who's just joined, talking about my 2 for 1 and 1 for all beanie free knitting pattern that you can get on my website, and just going through some yarn options. Another nice combo is Wood Nymph and Teddy. Personally, I think this would look really lovely. If you have, if you want to knit this for your brother, husband, sister, sister's boyfriend, uncles, nephews, I think this is a really nice combo. And then we have Storm and Yorkshire Moors, which is really lovely. I think these will look really nice together. And then Escarina, if you like the Escarina but you're not sure about the yellow, you could also knit this up with Sizzle. Nice, isn't it? That'll be all like peachy orange when you use those together. And then you could also knit the beanie with Unicorn Puff and Escarina. So that is Escarina and a yellow mohair called Sherbet, but you could do it with a pink, and then it'll just be as yellow as this is. That will then just be very, very pink, which is quite nice. And then the last option I picked for today is Leela and Unicorn Puff. I think that would be really, really lovely together as well. Now, I know that some people, I do get a lot of questions, but how will this look knitted up? And whilst I can give an idea sometimes about how things will look knitted up together, I can't always tell you that. And I think part of the magic of doing this is to pick two yarns and then see what happens. And I've not ever knitted up two yarns together and not been happy with them. And I think it is sometimes a bit of a leap of faith, but I think it's part of the magic and the fun to see how they look together. But yeah, so this one, Long Distance Love and Jade and Jack, is Really like that one. I might need to get my paws on that later. So yeah, so that's the beanie. And like I said, if you've just joined, it's a free pattern which you can download on my website, and then you can pick some yarn to go with it. You need one skein of each, and I've mentioned in the pattern that when you obviously need one of each, but you should have enough to make another beanie for someone else knitworthy in your life, or a headband, or anything about this size. So, or another beanie pattern where you hold these two together. So 2 skeins will definitely be enough for at least one of these plus something else. So that's the beanie pattern, which has been quite popular. Now, what do I talk about next? Yes, so these beauties are the December Yorkshire Yarnfest themed yarn, which some of us have done. And the theme was mistletoe and holly. So I did these. I didn't fancy something super traditional Christmassy, so that's what I did. So this is mistletoe and holly. That's what this one is called. And then this one, I went with an alcohol theme for Christmas. Don't know why. This one is Sauve Blanc Babes, and this one is Rosé Blush Hun. Now, and no, I don't know how I think of these names. It's a mystery. But yeah, so these 3 really look really lovely together. You could do a striped shawl, for example. I've sold a few of these, and I know some people have been making striped shawls, or even something like, you know, the Stephen West patterns. If you don't want to be too out there with your colours, these will look really nice together. And they're all baby alpaca, silk and cashmere 4-ply. And I'll pause if there's any questions or any, no? Okie dokie. But feel free to ask questions. Adam will read them out to me. And then, yes, so next thing to talk about, so I don't get warmer than I already am. So this is my version of the Slipstravaganza. This is what it looks like. This is my version. And I knitted this all in my baby alpaca silk and cashmere 4-ply. And the yarns that I used are these, which is Romancing the Reef, La Discotheque, Ibis, and November Mornings. So these are these. And if you don't fancy that colour combination, I picked something else this morning that I think would be really nice for this pattern. And I stuck with 3 semi-solids and 1 variegated. So you've got Francesca, Party in the Reef, Mrs. Padmore, and Bates. And I personally think that these as a Slipstravaganza will look awesome. But they will look nice in any striped shawl, I think. I really like this combo because the purple and this one really go nicely with the speckles in the Party in the Reef. And then the brown just sort of tones it down a bit. I think that's really lovely together, actually. There we go. So that's my Slipstravaganza shawl that I've been wearing a lot. So next thing to talk about, don't know how much time we've got left.
It's 12:43 now.
Okie dokie. So this is my newest sweater, which I posted about a few days ago, which is the Kirigami sweater by Brooklyn Tweed, which you can buy on their website, the pattern. And I used my Blueface Leicester and silk double knit yarn. So this is half Blueface Leicester and half silk. And I've been wearing this sweater pretty much every day since I finished it. And I've been wearing it in the house and outside, and I'm not getting too hot inside because it's half silk. It just is perfect to wear it every day indoors. So I've got probably about 3 sweaters worth of this colourway. This exact colourway that I used on the website if you fancy some. And the colourway is dark raspberry. You can find that on the website. And then I'll just get up and you can make this. And I'm really happy with this one. The pattern is super. Kirigami sweater by Brooklyn Tweed is what it is. It's really nice to wear. There we go. And now, while we still have 5 or so minutes, I know some of you have been waiting for this because I did get some messages. So, this is my newest sock yarn, which is called Gandalf's Fireworks, which has been quite popular this morning already. I did see some emails and orders come through. And because I'm using this for a project of mine, I actually managed to knit you guys a swatch. The tiniest swatch in the history of yarn swatches. But this is what this one looks like in stockinette, stocking stitch. And I think this is really nice. So this will make a super pair of socks. But you can also knit it up with my newest Kid Mohair and Silk Lace, which is Gandalf's Cloak, Gandalf's Fireworks, Gandalf's Cloak. You can tell which movie I watched a few weeks ago. So these are both on the website. And the Gandalf's Cloak is a really lovely light brown, beigey, yes?
Question, how many skeins did you use for your sweater?
5. But disclaimer, I had like 2 yards left at the end. So casting off was exciting because I wasn't sure if I'd have enough or have to break into another skein. So I knitted the 3rd size up in the pattern and I used 5, if that helps you. And I'm a size 12 to 14 depending on the day. But for me that was the 3rd size in the pattern. And I did get gauge, so should be fairly accurate. So these 2 I am currently using, if you can do a close-up of this, I mean, it's just so wonderful. I'm doing the Cruiser cardigan by Kristen Finney. So that's what it will look like. And this is what it looks knitted up in garter stitch. So this is Gandalf's Cloak and Gandalf's Fireworks knitted up together. And you can just see the speckles popping through like fireworks under Gandalf's Cloak. I had a whole thing in my head when I was dyeing this yarn and it came out exactly as I'd thought it up. So I'm really pleased with this. So I've got a few skeins of both still left on the website if you want to snap some up. This cardigan, I think I will need 3 of each if you wanted to make this. But obviously any pattern that calls for a full ply or a fingering and mohair together, you can, this is what it will look like. So I'll pause there if there's any questions and also to check the time because I can't see.
You're 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
And no more questions.
No more questions, right. Okie dokie. So what else can I talk about? I've been very efficient today and actually managed to stay in time. But we can actually we can look at these a bit more while we still have time. So what is the time? Unwrap these a bit. Ooh. I will eventually get this label off. There we go. Right. So this is what my mistletoe and holly looks like. There you go. It's really, really nice. It's got some speckles through it, but not too many. And it's just lovely muted reds and greens, and it's really, really nice. And then you obviously have this to go with it, which I think is really nice. But I also think if you don't fancy anything Christmassy, you could do that. I think that's quite nice together. And you could also, I mean, you know, that's romancing the roof with soft blanc babes. Or, personally, I also think that Rosé Blush Hun and soft blanc babes and Party in the Reef, I mean, look at that. That's a really lovely combo, I think. So what I said before, for people who've just joined, I've got loads more yarn on the website for you to have a look at, and what I've showed you today is just a selection to help a little bit with choosing yarns for the beanie pattern. There we go, which are all up there. So you need 1 skein of a full ply or fingering and a mohair, and then these are my Yorkshire Yarnfest themed yarns. But if you think, right, I'm done, I'm just going to get Christmas over with, I want something fresh for the new year, then I think these semi-solids together with a variegated from my store will work quite nicely. And while we're at it, if you want to have a look, I mean, there is and I'm just randomly picking yarn that I actually put out for the beanie now. However, there are so many options to use these with. This is quite nice as well. And I think this is really gorgeous. Or you could use all of them and do a big fade. So these 2 are really, really versatile, I think, to go with most of the skeins in my shop. And with that, I think we're pretty much out of time.
1 more minute.
1 more minute, right. I'll see if anyone has any questions, and I'm just gonna cuddle all the yarn while we wait. Just going to stroke it a bit. But yeah, so the Gandalf yarn, where's my swatch gone? The swatch is gone. Where's the swatch? The swatch has disappeared. I did post a photo of the swatch of this one, So if you want to see how the Gandalf's fireworks sock yarn knits up, there's a photo posted on my grid with the swatch. So thank you all for watching. Have a lovely Christmas and a great new year, and let's hope for a better 2021. See you later. Bye.